All right, everybody, this is Jamie. He takes care of my social media. And go ahead and tell him your site and all that good stuff.
Hey guys, Jamie Smith, Clay Social Media Group. I get the chance my first time with Roger in the Cybertruck, and I am super excited.
Yeah, we had quite a few rides. We had our ribbon cutting on finally Friday, and sometimes the rides last a little bit longer, and then Jamie ran out of time, and so we weren't able to. Let me go ahead, I guess just drop. Oh, she doesn't know. I guess that sunshade was in her right away.
Yeah. You are a pro maneuvering this beast through this Starbucks drive-through. I think my Mini Cooper could fit in the front seat of this. It's hilarious to see the people's reactions every time.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how old or how young. And then I had a guy yesterday, kind of like, he tried to act like he wasn't filming me, and he almost like ran into the wall on it. And then he's acting like he's talking on his phone, but he's like, you could tell the angle wasn't correct. It was like it was on me or on the truck. And then he goes inside the store and he's trying to film, but there's all kinds of stickers on the window, so he's like, you know,
dude, it's okay, you can film.
Yeah, you can film me. I'm not.
How many people have you had actually stop you or come up to you in the car?
Normally it happens at superchargers, and it's weird. It's like a wide array of people. It's like it doesn't matter. That's what's so cool about this vehicle. It's like it attracts everybody's attention. It doesn't matter what demographic or anything. I guess she's beeping at me. She wants me to change the traffic pattern.
She needs her coffee, Roger.
It's like, all right, I'll go out this way. Like this guy, I don't know where he came from, but he, I guess he wanted to check it out. I took my daughter to they had like a little kids' day with all the blow up stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But she said she was too old for that now. I said, you're 10. I'm like, come on, you're just doing that like 6 months ago.
Have you gotten used to the smaller steering wheel?
Yeah, actually, the Squircle, now I prefer it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said it's called a Squircle?
Yeah, square circle, Squircle.
Oh, nice.
I guess that was I don't know if that was,
Holy shit.
it's 60 of
It's like a space machine. That was so fast. And the sound.
Yeah, all you hear is tires and the whine of electric motors.
How many times has your mom driven it?
She hasn't actually driven it yet. I think she's afraid to drive it.
I don't blame her.
I mean, she's afraid. She's afraid to drive her Y. Like, she only takes it like maybe to church and maybe to a dance lesson or whatever. But
yeah,
she doesn't. She's afraid to drive it like every day. Of course, she has 2 Nissan Leafs, so she actually prefers those because they're so small and maneuverable.
Yeah.
And then her new Nissan Leaf has 360 and rear camera, so I think that's the one she really prefers. And it's like the top line. It's the L or whatever, the leather and all the bells and whistles in that one.
Yeah. I mean, I went from a Ram to a Mini Cooper because the Ram was too big for me.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Make sure we're on sport. Yeah. I just charged it last night at Charge Point, which is right there at the Orange Park Town Hall.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was like $15, but I had like hardly any charge. I was like maybe 20 or 30% charge, and it went all the way to 90. But it takes all night. I mean, because it's such a big battery pack.
Yeah.
And I think their charges like at 20 miles an hour, 22 or something.
I mean, I'd rather pay routine than $100 to fill the tank up.
Even if it takes all night. And it's funny because it's level 2, but my mom, she had level 2, but I changed it to the Tesla Powerwall, and it actually charges faster. It charges like it up to 37 miles an hour.
Wow.
And it's like, wow, it's double the speed of a commercial level 2 charger.
Yeah.
So that's definitely worth it. I recommend anybody that has.
Just the force it puts on you, that's crazy.
I like turning and accelerating. You get more G's that way.
So how many rides have you given so far?
I lost count. I like giving like strangers, like especially, I don't know, just people that don't expect it. You know, they're just happy to see the vehicle, and then I'll be like, jump in. They're like, what? Yeah, jump in.
Hey, you're walking. Do you want to ride?
Come on. And it's even faster, of course, when you're faster, because you never know when you're going to accelerate. So
I just want to see you on a Sunday. You're just going to get your groceries in the Beast.
I was going to get my daughter, and I jumped on actually no, we were going to Best Buy because I wanted to get some controllers because they can wireless, of course, remote to the gaming system. And Ryan's like, well, just meet me at Best Buy. So I jumped on the expressway, and I saw like an F-150. He was like trying to come up next to me, and then I just punched it, and I took off, and he was trying his best, and he was just like flooring it. And I finally got off, and then he passed me, and then he slowed down and got behind me, and for some reason, I guess they're going. It's weird. He's going to Best Buy too. So, but he was like, yeah. He goes, I was trying to. Guess nobody's gonna let me in. I noticed Jacksonville, they're not the nicest of drivers.
No. What were did you get some reactions when you went to Gainesville with us?
That was what's cool about this vehicle, the battery pack's so huge. I don't really have to stop at the supercharger unless I want to. But sometimes, I don't know, Tesla people, they're always curious.
Yeah.
But some people, like I was at the supercharger last night, but it was off of Wilson. And this poor guy, he was standing in the rain, and he was just drenched talking to me. And he was just like, you know what? He goes, I know you probably get this all the time, but I just have to ask you, how do you like it? Because he had it on order, and then he has a small business. Try that in an F-250. It's like a Mini Cooper, but like really sticks it hangs the road.
Yeah, it's like glue. My Mini would have went.
But yeah, he was like, I just have to ask you. He goes, how do you like it? Because I felt for him, because like I didn't know if I was going to get this vehicle either, because it's expensive. It's really it's like buying a house.
Only took you 4.5 years. So.
Yeah, I think they get you where it's like you'll do anything to get it at this point because you've waited so long.
Yeah.
And so he was kind of like the same way. He wanted it. He had a Model Y, and then he didn't want to give his wife his old Model Y because it already had like 60,000 miles on it. And so they ended up just getting a new Model Y. But then he said business slowed down. I'm not sure what type of business he was in, but he just couldn't finance it, which I can totally understand.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. It's like buying a condo, apartment, a townhouse.
Yeah, the way the economy is, it's like you're lucky to finance a tiny home.
Exactly.
Everything's like tripled in price.
I know.
But,
having to live in the back with the thing.
Yeah. Might have to.
I mean,
I think that's the guy owner of McDonald's. It's their son. No, it's not. Oh, I thought he was the only one with the orange Corvette, the new one. He's on his phone. Yeah, I know the owner of. I took it by Karen King's house. She's the owner. She owns like 5 or 6 McDonald's. And
was it that ribbon cutting recently with one of her new McDonald's?
Actually, she's selling them. She's getting rid of them. She's like she's like my mom's age. She's like 80 something, 83, 80. Yeah, I think they're within a couple months of each other. But we were coming back from Gainesville because last weekend my mom wanted to go with me, just to ride in the car, take my daughter back.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like after 10, it was dark, and she's like, I bet Karen King would like to see this. And I'm like, Mom, I'm not calling Karen King. She's like, come on, man, come on. So I said, I'll text her. That way I won't bother if she's sleeping or whatever.
Yeah.
She texts me back, and she's like, what's up? I'm like, I explained to her, and I said, do you mind if I call you? She's like, yeah, sure. I'm insomniac. I'm up all the time. I'm like, okay. So I give the phone to my mom, and they're talking back and forth. She's like, yeah, come on over. I'd love to see it. And like, that's what I love about her. She's just like open to anything.
Yeah.
And so, and it's like a lot of people that I show it to, they're like just like, oh, okay, cool, but they're not like ecstatic. She's like, oh, that is so cool. I'm happy for you. It's good that people, get what they want. Or,
yeah.
So, because I mean, I need to film her because her story, like, she was one of the first women to own McDonald's, and she was treated not good, and she was able to accumulate like 5 or 6 of the stores.
And those are incredibly expensive to open.
And so she kind of did the unthinkable. Like, can you imagine owning a female-owned McDonald's like back in the 70s or 60s? I mean, that's...
Well, and in this part of Florida, too. I mean, back then.
Yeah, very backwards thinking.
Yeah, just a bit.
She was, she was at a meeting, and there was a bunch of men there, with, McDonald's owners, millionaires, and they actually told her to sit down and shut up.
Wow.
And so, and of course, she was young too back then. I mean, she's probably in her 30s, maybe.
Yeah.
And she owned a McDonald's, and these are probably older, wealthy millionaire men, and they're just like, they don't even want to hear her talk. It's
yeah.
like, wow.
That's crazy.
So now she's feisty, boy. I tell you what, she doesn't take anything. She'll let you know right now what she's thinking. Because I've done all our tree work and at her house and all the different stores and stuff. But yeah, I think she's really cool, man, because she's been through a lot.
That is awesome. It even shows you the lights too. That's cool.
And like if you're turning, it automatically switches to that.
Nice.
That'd kind of be like your blind spot.
Yeah.
And then do that.
That is so cool. It's like a huge ass iPad. Is this for when you want to do your carpool karaoke?
Yeah. Yeah, my daughter, she just hits that and listens and plays because it has it's pretty much what she listens to. It's like this is her vehicle when it comes to the audio.
So I think I told you I've had 3 of my friends text me saying, "Hey, saw your guys' beast around town."
Yeah, it's cool because there's probably 1 or 2. I think there's a black one, but it's towards the beaches. So if anyone sees like the 1 or 2 that aren't me, they think it's me because nobody has anything on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, some people were like, I saw you, and I'm like, oh, I'm not sure if it was me or not. And then I think they stopped production for a while because they have a few problems.
Yeah, I saw something.
Yeah, there's the accelerator pedal, that little fascia, that little piece of material on there. It slips off, and all they're doing is taking like 2 pop rivets or something, and or just pulling it off. So give them a little chance to get out of my way. Let's see. And then oh yeah. There's always space.
That is an awesome view.
Yeah, because a lot of vehicles don't have the front-facing camera, and that's really cool, especially if you're in an area with children, or say you're like off-road and there's like maybe something sticking up. You can avoid it. It's just really.
I mean, we're in Florida, so there's potholes everywhere.
If you're in the apocalypse and you have metal plating everywhere,
Exactly.
you can drive without.
Yeah.
With just looking at like a tank.
1 zombie, 2 zombie.
It still has good power too. Even when you're doing 50 or 60, you can still accelerate pretty quickly.
Take a video of a video.
I still need to do something about the tinting. It's just way too bright.
Yeah. I mean, can you just go to a standard tint place or no?
Yeah. It's actually easy. It's because the panels are so flat.
Yeah.
There's not many curves. But
Yeah. This big ass window.
my buddy wanted to do it. He's like the best. Because I've been to other tint shops, and sometimes it's just not quite. I'd rather know this guy's done like 10 on my vehicle. So.
Yeah.
And he says he's gonna do it for free too. So I'm gonna give him a shot if I can ever
helps.
get a hold of him. You know. He actually stopped by the the ribbon cutting. There was just so many people, and now the vehicle he couldn't. He's like, I'll just come back. It's I probably should do it at a charger. That way I can charge it as he's.
At the same time.
Yeah, that would be. Of course, there might be people though. I could do it. Maybe I'd do it at my mom's house. All the neighbors have already seen it, so.
Have y'all gotten rides?
A few have. Yeah, my mom's neighbor, he's a cop, and it was like, he wasn't really impressed. He's like talking about something else the whole time. You know? I guess he's used to being in fast cars.
Yeah. He's probably thinking, it's just a matter of time before I give you a ticket.
Well, he's retired. He hasn't. He's supposed to get another job around here. I don't think it's going to be patrol officer though. He's pretty high up. Probably be inside somewhere. Be detective or something. But he's kind of anti-electric. He's like, I don't know about that stuff, man. He's like, you got that set up over there, but I'm into my gas vehicles.
Have you given up on wiping the fingerprints off and stuff?
Yeah, I'm pretty cheap, and I usually wash my own vehicle. I'm reluctant to put $2 in the self-spray machine. And I'm like breaking down, like, how much is it a month for the drive-through cleaning?
Yeah.
You know, so I actually went through a couple drive-throughs, and they have a brand new one, and they said the first it's $10 or it's $20 a month, but the first 3 months it's $10. I'm really considering it because you can go through, you know, every day if you want to. And I've also reconsidered taking this to the shop or doing any type of shop stuff because it just attracts dirt. So I'm going to use it pretty much. I'm still going to pull a few things with it just to see the power, but my other truck is filthy. Like, it's always at the shop, and I'm like, oh man, there's too many nooks and crannies in this thing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to. I would just start driving me nuts. I have to have one vehicle that's like pristine. You know, I'm so tired of driving stuff that just, I mean, you get out and you're filthy. You know? It's like,
yeah, the fingerprints would make my OCD in high gear, but you have to just forget about it.
And I was surprised. Some of these car washes, there's so many new ones that they actually do a good job. They almost take off the fingerprints.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, wow.
I
It's
mean,
like 99% of everything is gone.
I would take almost. I mean, better than you being out there trying to
Yeah.
wipe it down.
So is this the, like, Jamie went with me, well, how many times to try to get this thing?
I went the first time, and they said, "Sorry." After hanging around for a couple hours, you're gonna have to wait 4.5 years and 10 more hours.
Oh, you're here to pick this up? Oh, I thought you were just gonna look at it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a speed trap here. You gotta be careful. They hide right around the corner.
I've never been back here. Is this where the industrial park is?
Yeah, this is where I spent half my life. This is like the hardest, one of the hardest years here. I moved inside the industrial loop. I get kicked out of one building after 10 years, and then I moved to another building for another year and a half.
Yeah.
And that was the work, man. That was like, oh my God, can you imagine moving 10 years of accumulated this? Yeah, I'm going to show you this building here. I actually had I had three buildings completely full of just everything.
All for the business.
Yeah, this building here is 38,000 square feet. I had this whole building filled.
You had the whole building filled?
Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah, because we were doing that commercial firewood business.
Wow.
So there was half of it was equipment, and the other half was firewood, and then the entire outside parking lot was full of wood because it was a mess.
How long did it take you to move out of there?
Well, luckily it was after firewood season, but I just want to show you how big this parking lot was because it was abandoned, and the owner was like, "Hey," he goes, "you're letting me use your Skyjack, which is like, it's like $500 a day," and he goes, "So I'm going to let you use this abandoned building because this was like there was nobody here, none of the water, and I just needed storage." So this entire area right here, this parking lot was full of wood, if you can imagine that. All the docks had trailers that backed up, and we would back the trailers up and then just push the wood on the trailers.
Wow.
So yeah, we were major firewood production. That whole entire warehouse was either full of wood, log splitters, sawmills. It was a mess. I don't know what I was thinking. It's just like, a little kid, and they're like, "Look at all this room." And then as soon as everybody found out I had the room, my uncle's like, "Hey, I just bought a shed. Can I store it over there?" So then I had like half the stuff wasn't even mine. It was just people wanting to store stuff. It's like, "Oh, you got free storage? I'm just gonna go shopping."
So you had to move out of that one then?
Yeah, I had to move out of that one, and then I'll show you the first spot I was in. It's funny because I've worked for the industrial loop, like, and ABC owns like 80% of all the blue buildings are in industrial, or the ABC park, and now they're buying more, and then some of the rest of them are individually owned, or own a few of them. So when I moved out of the first location, I actually moved into this location, the last one. It's now like the green.
Yeah.
And then I had the whole back. There's a bunch of stuff there now, but all that, see all those trailers and stuff back there? I had that location.
Okay, that's tiny.
Yeah.
You really went crazy then.
Yeah. But it was nice back when I was here. There was a guy that built starters and alternators back there. He moved out. He did all my starters and alternators. There was another company called More Power. They did all my maintenance on all the chippers and stump grinders and anything that had to deal with the business.
Yeah.
They're a specialist. And then Perkins Power was here, and I had some motors, Perkins diesels, in my chippers, and so they were here. So it was like, and then my buddy owns the Powder Tech. It's like a sandblasting and powder coating company. So I had, and then hose power was right here. They did all the hydraulics, so it was such a good location because within, like, I would break down and the next day I'd be up and running.
Yeah.
I mean, there was so much here, and then Ditch Witch is right there. So, I mean, I couldn't have picked a better spot to have a tree service, especially with, and it happened, like, I wasn't specifically buying a piece of equipment, you know, because the engine was a Perkins. I just happened to have it, and come to find out, they were like right here. So this is my first shop. It was, I went from 600 square feet to 3,000 square feet.
Wow.
So if you can look in, if you look in there, so this was my billet. This was mine here, 208.
You had the bay and then this.
Yeah, 3,000 square feet. And then I had about 6 parking spots, and then this was all overgrown and there was trash here. So I cleaned up this whole area, and it was mulch from end to end, and they let me use it, all the space, because it was unusable. I got rid of all the garbage and mowed everything, all the weeds down, and I put mulch down, and I, you know, cleaned it up. And so I had from all that room to park my equipment, and then I filled this up with firewood. And then one day they said, you know what, we're going to start charging you rent for that. I'm like, but wait, it wasn't usable space before.
That's not how they're supposed to work.
Yeah, so all right, let's go this way.
Yeah, I've never been back here.
Yeah, this used to be shut off right here, and then they opened it up, and that used to be like a dead end.
So these are new then, or newer?
Yeah, newer. That's the building I wanted originally, but that's not enough room anymore. You know how, like, you have a space like that would be perfect.
Yeah.
Like, I could do everything. Like, I could, yeah. And then
Just
I'm
like 100,000 more square feet.
Yeah, it's so limited back here because everything is divided up, and they want you to rent out every little parking space now. All right, I think this is the end of this video because I've pretty much talked the whole time, and I've told you guys my life story of ABC. It started out AAATreeandStump.com. It's the first .com tree service. If that makes any difference. And then, of course, back then you had to be first in the phone book. So AAA, All-American Arborist was the thing to pick because it was the first in the phone book. Now it doesn't matter. You could be Xylophone or Ziggy's tree service. It doesn't matter. All right. That's the end of my ride and the beginning of yours.